Hey there, brothers and sisters, YouTube friends and family. That there horrible noise you were hearing was this is just a small, obviously what size, like I don't know, quart size blender I have. Can't see it from over there. Just wait. It's a really cool little unit. I just bought it basically for like fruit smoothies or something like that, right? Because it comes in a drink cup kind of a blender unit. Okay? Alright, so here's the scenario. For some silly reason, world goes into like lockdown or something. Go figure. And then, like, for, I don't know, some silly reason, maybe you run out of cows and milk starts getting really expensive. But you like cereal, you know? Maybe, you know, you can't afford a whole lot because at the end of the world kind of global pandemic sort of worldwide shutdown stuff, and you got no job and you got no money, but you want to eat because, like, a fuller belly is a better belly. And yeah, you got to add some beans to this diet, but if you have some rice, and like myself finally figure out how to cook it so it's quite edible. And then I said something about to my friend there, sister in Christ. Well, rice pudding is good too. Just, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, add some milk. But you gotta have milk. You always gotta have milk for stuff. So, lighting is horrible because of the windows, but this is rice milk. Can you see a little bit there? Oh, it's flowing around. You can see a bit in the top is empty there. This is hardly any. I made the old, I don't know what it is, basically a one-person serving of rice. And I stuffed about this much cooked rice into this thing. And then I added some water, and then some more, and then some more water. And here it is now, at this consistency. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. But anyway, it's still, might still be a little thick for milk. Probably great for cream, like for coffee. Might even be a little thin for that. But if you had some, you know, a couple bags of rice is cheap, and then oatmeal is cheap, right? And it's not hard to spice up some oatmeal. You can get like dried fruits and stuff, freeze-dried fruits or whatever. You just soak them in some water for a little bit. Then you cook that in with your oatmeal, and it'll soak up that flavor, right? You know, keep yourself a couple bags of brown sugar to sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar on top. Maybe some cinnamon. Cinnamon's actually really good for you. And that's where all of this came from. Needed milk for this rice drink from Mexico. Chojada or something. I don't know, I can't remember. But hey, I thought I had no milk, you know? And then I'm not going to town till tomorrow. And milk is so expensive out here. But I like my cereal. I like to get a little, you know, fiber in there somehow. That's a good way. It's cereal. Milk is really expensive. Like for, I don't know where you are. Here 4 liters is $7. That's a gallon of milk. It's like, this is probably half of a liter. So this twice, 4 times, $7. But I just used 2 small, I don't know the size of it. It's probably a half cup. I probably used 2/3 of a cup of rice to make a small pot of rice, and then I just used, I don't know, well, this much cooked rice, already cooked rice. You can do it either way. You can just soak your rice and let it sit for a few hours and let it soak up the water that way and then do it. I thought, oh, I'll just cook it, right? Way better, I think. And I mean, You can hear it. It sounds like milk. So, what we're going to do, and this is, there's no flavors. Beep, beep. There's no flavors added in this at all. This is just rice and a little water, filtered water. That's it. I boiled some rice and I put some water and I blended it. Now, you could pour this on your cereal, right? And you could have some cereal. Cereal without any milk is really crappy. So as long as you have access to a little blender and power, then you could make your own milk, right? So I thought I'd try it, and if it's good enough, I'm not going to buy no milk tomorrow. I might not buy no coffee creamer either, or else maybe spoil myself with one because I've been drinking black for a while. But I thought, you know what, with no flavors, because you can add whatever you think you would like to add in here, a little bit of sweetener of some sort or whatever, right? If you like a flavored creamer, you can actually blend some almonds and then blend that in there, because you can just add a little bit of water and make like an almond milk and add that in just for a flavor. So it's not as expensive as trying to keep up with buying all almonds. Well, that came out fairly clean, so it's got to be pretty close to ready to be milk. And I thought what we would do, since I'm going to try to tell you that this is a viable option for, you know, tough times or whatever, or maybe all the time, you know, it's probably healthier than whatever they do to make milk in the store. But I thought I'd try it for the first time ever right here in front of you. No flavors, no sweeteners, no nothing, just cooked some rice, added some water, blended it up. Cheers. Here's to the cheers. Oh, and I used jasmine rice. It smells good. Rather bland, not bad or repulsive in any way. To drink as a glass of milk, I don't know. It's a little bit, the texture is more of a fruit juice texture, although I probably only in total I might have gave it 1 minute on the blender, you know. And I could add more water to make it less creamy, right? Or you can add less water and make it a little more creamy, depending what you wanted to use this for, I suppose, right? But I don't know, like, oh, and also the recipe says, like, this is just straight up, I just did it. The recipe says now, for if you would like to, and you have cheesecloth or something that's going to work like a cheesecloth, strain it through a cheesecloth, and you can throw whatever pulp is left over out. But they did say I think they said if you do it long enough or whatever, you can pretty much blend the pulp right in, because you're not, it's just rice and water. What do you know, you're not, there's nothing you should have to get rid of. It's just rice and water. But it's rice milk, guys. It's how can I do this? Like that? Can you see it? It's rice milk. Yum yum. Like I said, not much for flavor. But, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend it a little more. Maybe I should top it up with water even. And then blend it a little bit more. And I never added anything. you could add a little bit of vanilla. I bet you that would probably work good in here. A couple shots of vanilla extract. Um, they say you can throw it in the fridge 4 or 5 days, whatever, until, they said basically until it smells sour. And right now I could freeze this and it'd be fine. Reuse it later. Thought whenever, right? So if you wanted to make a bigger batch, if you have like a big blender. But you know, I'm pretty impressed. I'm gonna play with it a little more, try to refine it or whatever. But for pennies, I got a half a quart of milk, or a quart, or whatever you call this size of a thing. Might say no, it says mason jar. But yeah, there you go. Can it work? It can work, guys. Love you all. Have a great day.